What if the way you've learned to see assets and liabilities is why money still feels tight? Sounds harsh, but let's take a closer look. Most people think owning a house is the ultimate asset. It feels safe, it looks good, and everyone says it's a smart move. But if your house costs you money each month in mortgage, repairs, and taxes, it isn't building wealth, but taking it from you. That's what we call a liability. Here's the big idea. Assets are things that put money into your pocket. Liabilities take money out. But many of us have been taught to chase things that look good, not things that actually help us grow. Now, in the next few minutes, you'll learn 5 lessons that will change how you see money. Once you understand the difference between looking rich and being rich, you won't be able to unsee it. Let's dive in. Your assets might be your biggest lie. We grow up hearing that assets are the key to getting rich. Parents tell us to buy property, ads sell big house dreams, and society sees new cars and gadgets as signs of success. Over time, these ideas can confuse us about what is truly an asset and what is actually a money drain. This is what I call the status trap. A shiny car or a big house can make us look successful on the outside. But behind the scenes, they often take money from us every month, whether for repairs, insurance, taxes, or simply because their value drops over time. They don't grow our wealth, they quietly shrink it. Take the example of a dream home. On paper, it's an asset. In reality, the monthly mortgage, repairs, property tax, and upkeep can be higher than any increase in its value. A friend bought a beautiful house as a smart investment, but 5 years later the market barely moved and the costs drained their savings, turning it into a financial burden. Remember, a real asset grows your money. The dangerous illusion is believing that anything expensive must be an asset. In the end, the only question that matters is whether it puts money in your pocket or takes it out. The hidden power of true assets. Most people think of money in the bank, property, or expensive things when they hear the word asset. In a practical way, a true asset is something that puts money into your pocket. It is not about how much it costs or how fancy it looks. What matters is whether it adds to your income and helps your wealth grow over time. The interesting thing is that some of the best assets don't even show up on your bank statement yet. Some of the most powerful assets may surprise you because skills, knowledge, networks, and problem-solving abilities might not look like money now, but can create income in the future. These intangible assets form the foundation for financial growth, while tangible assets build lasting wealth. A small side business that makes steady income, even if it's just a little at first, can grow into something big. Dividend-paying stocks can give you regular income without selling them. A rental property that earns more than it costs to maintain can give you extra money every month. True assets work for you often quietly in the background and help build a foundation for lasting wealth. The most important thing is to focus on what increases your income, not just on what looks valuable. Fake investments you think are assets. Many people believe in the idea of good debt, thinking that borrowing to invest or grow wealth is always smart. In reality, debt can turn into a problem when the money you earn from it is less than the interest you have to pay. What first looks like a smart move can quickly become a burden that takes away your income and limits your choices. Another common trap is lifestyle inflation, which happens when you spend more as your income grows. You might buy something that starts as an asset, like a property or business tool, but it can turn into a liability if upgrades or maintenance cost more than it earns. Over time, those extra costs can outweigh the money it makes, turning yesterday's asset into today's liability. The damage is not only financial, as fake investments that look like assets can also hide emotional costs. Stress from debt repayments, the pressure to keep up appearances, and lost freedom can block opportunities when your money is tied up in something that doesn't truly work for you. Real assets should give you more control and peace of mind. The key is to look beyond the label of investment and ask whether it truly puts money in your pocket and supports your future freedom. The wealth rules schools never tell you. Most people are taught to work hard, save money, and invest, but there's a simple formula for building wealth that almost no one explains. Wealth equals assets that grow plus liabilities you control. Assets that grow are things that put money in your pocket over time, like a business or investments that increase in value. Liabilities you control are debts or expenses that you keep small and manageable, so they don't take too much from your income. The real change happens when you make small steps to improve this formula. For example, a car usually costs you money for fuel, insurance, and repairs. That makes it a liability. But if you use that car to earn money, like making deliveries or driving for a ride-sharing service, it can shift from draining your wallet to paying you back as an asset. You can do the same with other things by renting out a spare room, using your skills to earn extra money, or selling what you no longer need. Over time, these small actions can slowly grow your income and reduce costs that drain your money. The goal is to keep growing your assets while keeping your liabilities under control. When you do this, your wealth can grow faster and give you more freedom in the future. Think like an investor, not just an owner. Most people decide to buy something by asking, "Can I afford it?" But investors think differently. They ask, "Will it pay me?" This simple change in thinking can transform how you use money, moving from asking if you can buy something now to asking whether it will give you more money later. This is called looking through the cash flow lens. It means you think about every purchase in terms of how much money it can make for you, not how fancy or impressive it looks. For example, suppose you have $500. You could spend on a new TV, which entertains you but doesn't return any money. Or you could use that $500 to buy baking tools and start selling cakes on weekends. The TV provides fun, but the baking tools generate income. Wealthy people understand this well, caring less about labels or showing off and more about utility and yield. Utility is how useful something is in creating value. Yield is how much it pays back over time. When you start thinking like an investor, you stop collecting things that cost you and start building streams of income. That's how wealth grows, by owning fewer things that cost you money and more things that bring you money. Now, if you want your money to work harder, let's turn this idea into a clear plan you can follow step by step. List all you own and all you owe. Include savings, investments, property, tools, and skills, as well as debts, bills, and regular expenses. Classify as assets or liabilities. Assets are things that bring you money or grow in value. Liabilities are things that cost you money or lose value over time. I'll look for fake assets. These are things that look valuable but don't earn, like a costly car or unused gadgets. Decide whether to downgrade, sell, or repurpose them. Turn liabilities into assets where possible. Ask yourself if any liability can be turned into an asset. For example, can your car earn income through deliveries, or can unused space be rented out? Choose a new asset that brings income. It could be a small investment, a side business, or a skill you learn that can be sold. So now you know, wealth is not about what you own, but about what controls you. Many things we call assets quietly drain freedom instead of building it. The only way to know is to face the numbers. Track your money for 30 days, then decide if you own your assets or if they own you. Remember, money is a mirror of your choices, so choose wisely and make sure your assets work for you, not against you. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Please share it with anyone who might need this message for inspiration. See you next video.